Good morning, good afternoon, and hello. This is Wayne Van Sluys, and I'm joined here with Hans. Welcome to day 2 of the winter session of Oracle Analytics and Data, the Analytics and Data Oracle User Community TechCast Days. We're excited for the lineup today. We have a great group of folks that are ready to share their knowledge with you and hopefully increase the community that we have amongst all us technical folks. Next slide, please. And to start today off, we'd like to thank our sponsor UiPath. We'll hear from them later this afternoon, later today in the session, a little bit more about who they are and what they do. But again, thank you for your sponsorship for today's TechCast Days. Next slide, please. All right, we've got a great lineup today for the spatial and location intelligence speakers. Again, I'd like to thank Derek, Chris, Tim, Mark, David, and Daniel for being able to give us 45 minutes to an hour of their time and share their knowledge on the various topics that we will be talking to today. I'd like to remind you, please, that at the bottom of the screen, there's a Q&A button, as well as the chat button. We'd like you to use Q&A to direct questions to the speakers, and we will answer those either online or at the end of the session. We also have the chat window, but we'd like you to use chat to just kind of say, words of encouragement if that's what you'd like to do, but also just to talk amongst ourselves or to other folks. But again, technical questions, please use Q&A. We'd also like to let you know that we do have our Slack workspace for the community, as well as our Paperly newsletter and the A&D OUC website. So please take a look at those. Those are showing up in the chat window for you to link to as you need. So next slide, please. So again, today is packed. We've got some great speakers. We have the Outfront Media folks talking about their use of spatial and location intelligence. We'll have a short interview with UiPath. We'll have Mark Daines bring in Oracle Spatial Studio, and then rolling out with spatial features in Apex with David Lapp, and finally, optimize Oracle Spatial Performance Best Tricks from Dan Guerinter. Next slide, please. And we'd like to remind you that tomorrow we'll be closing out the Winter TechCast Days with the machine learning folks. Again, Abby and Billy, Mark, and Zia have some great content, and we'd love to have you come back and join us for tomorrow's machine learning TechCast Days. Next slide, please. And for those of you who are new to our group today, we'd like to welcome you and like to point out some resources that are available to you. We have our great community of technical enthusiasts and partners, students, all willing to share their knowledge. And we're doing that through a variety of channels. We have, again, our Slack workspace. We have the Paperly newsletter. We have a LinkedIn community. We also have our mailing list. So if you want to get on our mailing list, send a note to the Oracle Spatial SIG at gmail.com, and follow us on Twitter at Oracle Spatial or Aura Spatial SIG. But we have just some incredible content. Next slide, please.
Yes, indeed. And Wayne is part of the community here, the part of the community of volunteers. You may have already heard that the Analytics and Data Oracle user community is all volunteer based. And that also means that it only works if everybody contributes, right? So if you, for example, have a piece of knowledge which you can share, or if you have an innovative project which you can talk about, do please consider presenting it to this audience. You can submit the proposal under the link you find on this page, right? The A&D community has a dedicated TechCast subcommittee, and they'll then review it, they'll select the best proposals, and hopefully they'll slot in your proposal for either a future TechCast, which is one of our bi-monthly webinars, which we are offering to everybody free of charge, or the next round of TechCast Days, which is like this 3-day event, which we're holding at the moment, of which we are currently on day 2. Right, hope that was enough of a motivation for you to also contribute. I mean, as I said, it's a community of volunteers, and you only get as much out of it as you are prepared to give into it. So I think it's always great to share this kind of content. But now